quite knowledgeable in the field of NFTs and also cryptocurrencies. And we've been doing it for about, what, 4 weeks now, I think? Maybe this is the 4th week. But the plan is to have it in the public session, live, and Stan's going to be recording the sessions. So those recordings will be available for people to obviously rewatch whatever we've gone through during the live session so that you can digest it. And if you do happen to miss it because of time zones or family life commitments and all that sort of jazz, the recordings will be in like the holder, a section only accessible for holders. So that'll be hopefully some extra added value that you would get from gas as a whole. Anyway, enough rambling from me. I'll let Stan Perry start. And just a quick one, if you click on Stan's profile, and you'll see under his name where it says about me, there's something called Rugonomics Doc. If you click that, that will come up with the session TA notes. So if you go through the link tree and look at the TA notes, then you'll be able to find what Stan will be talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, Stan, over to you, my friend.
Yes. Thanks for the intro. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that intro. That's awesome. So wait. I'm not even sharing my screen. Let's do that. All right. So hi everybody. What happened? I get it. I was gone for a minute, maybe too long, because what's 7 days ago? 7 days ago. So 7 days ago, this is what we would have saw. So let's kind of like go to where we were, what we would have been at, because this is important. All right. So 7 days ago, we tapped 1320. And I would have told you we just tested the 50. If we reject off the 50, bad news bears, right? So when we were over here, we were in the beginning stages of this move. We didn't know what was happening. So we'll just pretend like it's last week. And what we're seeing is, we had a bottom, another bottom over here. So 2 entry points. And then at this point, I jump in over here. It's a let it ride moment. I personally wouldn't have sold at the 50. But let me double check and see what the size of that is. Actually, 20% is a good sell. Not, you want to sell always at 20%, whatever, because there's a lot of opportunities to go up, but 20% is good. So now we're currently at another bottom. So in the last, we had 2 okay days. This is okay. So the way that we would have looked at this one is we are above the 9MA. Now, if we would have printed another bar up, this 9MA would have bent up and the blue would have bent. Just on printing over the 50, you'll bend the blue. But we didn't do that. We ended up selling off. How you would have traded this one is in the extension from the 9 to the 50. This would have been safe profit. It wouldn't have been a lot of money. To me, even at an entry point here, selling here wouldn't have been enough money for me. Like, I'm not interested in a 12% trade. Now, if I wanted to be always going for like 10-12% trades, then it would be a little bit better. But what I wanted to go into was this rectangular pattern, and I wanted to talk about this one a little bit more. Where's my rectangle? I use so much rectangles here. Yeah. So we had this thing. This is not pretty. This is ugly. But it had something. We had some entry points and we had some exit points. Now, this would have been scalping. I think that I need to start doing that. Not with a lot of money, but I need to do some scalping so that we could get profit even in this 10% scenario and start scalping from these clear points of and like these clear entry points. but they're not like a lot of money. Like it's not. We're not going to be making a ton of money off of this trade. 3% is like pennies to me. To me, I want to trade. 20% trades are good. Those are decent. And I guess that I have to like take my expectations and I have to like bring them into alliance with where the market's at. Okay. So let's talk about this movement. And in the past, I talked about the formation of a lower low, where you have your 200, you have your 50, and you have your 9. Well, we got that in spades. We got that. Like, that is what we have. Let me clone this one. So we have that 200. We're going to say that it held. The fact that 50 rejected means that we are looking for a lower low. Now I'm interested in a lower low. I'm looking for a new entry point. And I can miss an exit point. But entry points are a little bit more important than exit points to me. Like if I don't sell, cool, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm literally at where I started. I think, yeah, my entry point here is right around where we're at, which would be a support line, but it's a temporary support. I don't want to examine it too much more. No, I'm not going to examine it. This is local. This resistance point right here is local, and we're just going to hold it. And I'm cool with that. I'm expecting a lower low. Now, because of the rejection from the 50, that is strong to me. Let me look at other 50 rejections that we had. This is technically a 50 rejection. Though it's above the 50, it's still a rejection. It crosses the 50 and then it comes down. And that could, like, so you see that this is like a 5-day rejection, right? Yeah, 5 days. So you have we break above it, we hit another one, and then we have a couple days of sell off. But ultimately, the sell off from this 50 doesn't end till down here. So we definitely have lower low scenario. We didn't fight this back. Okay, so I have that explained. Now, if we wanted to do a temporary trade, a trade from here to here is available. We are going to test that 9 MA or the 9. Yeah, we're going to test the 9 MA again. We're going to test the white line again. And we know we're going to test it for sure because we are gapped away from the white line. The 50 and the 9 MA, the relationship between the 50 and the 9 MA are very close. And it's like, look at the distance. It's very small. So we're going to talk about this at length. We are at a 4% difference, and we're pretty much holding that 4%. Recently, we're just holding it. Like, this is holding. They're moving in unison. They're looking the same. This dip down, I wanted this rejection before confirming, because if I didn't have this rejection, this would have still been a profitable trade, and I would be looking for an exit. But because this got rejected over here at the 50, now we're looking for new entry points. So like how I would play Ethereum right now is find new entry points for your money. Even if you missed this, even if you missed profit, that's okay. Looking for a new entry point is going to be the wave for this. Let me see how many days is this. It's 38 days. I bet if I come over here, it's like 24. Okay, so this is 25 days from here, which gives me a full arc scenario. I mean, that's one compass, is how many days from bottom to bottom. So the last time we were talking, I talked about compasses. Let me see if I could find them. Yeah, right here. So we're like, I like that idea so well that we're gonna keep them. So price action. So a compass. Let's go into compasses. Let me see if anybody's talking. All right. Okay, Mom Zany is the only one that's out here making money. Wait. You sold at 1,300? Okay, so you did a good job. You sold at the 50. And okay, that's great. That's a great trade. Great trade. Let's talk about compasses. So compasses is my new thing. And one of my compasses I'm going to add are the distance between the bottom and the bottom of Ethereum. And that's where we get full cycles. And the cycles would be, this is the bottom, and then I would say this is another bottom, 22 days. If I go out here, bottom, 28 days. And then here, there's something wonky happening around here. I'm missing something. They usually line up between 22 and 27 days. Let me see what this would be if I really... This would be another bottom here. A higher low. It doesn't look right. I don't like that one. Okay, so we're going to ignore that. But, so we have this one right here. This would be the local market. A local cycle. So it would be this wick to this wick. That would be your cycle. And then your next wick would be from here to here, bottom to bottom. So where you're at in the cycle. Where are you at in the... Right, so you want to know in this bottom to bottom cycle, you just want to know where you're at for entry. You want to make sure that your entry points in the cycle are not in this part. You're aiming for this bottom and this bottom. These are the ones that you're aiming for entry points, not exit points. Like this is how I look for bottoms for entries. I don't always get them. I think I didn't have money here. I don't think I had money here to even make this trade. I think I literally got paid around this time, and I was like, okay, this is when I'm going to put my money in. Like, I got paid yesterday. We'll say, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before that. But, so I have another opportunity for another entry point. And I have patience. I definitely do not rush putting money in, especially at this point. At this point, it's all about patience. It's all about very clear entries. And the more clear the entry point, when you add as much compasses as possible. So compasses for you could be anything. It could be news. It could be price. It could be just a weird feeling. Compasses for me are where we at in the 9MA schedule. How are we extended below the 9MA? I would say all my entry points would be extensions away from the 9MA. You want to be away from the 9MA. These are good entry points. I might have to change the color. Can I change the color to this? Oh, that's perfect. Let me change it to this because this one's done. All those are done. They're orange because they're done. I finished those off. Those are all finished. Okay, cool. And these are active. The blue one is active. All right. So when I'm looking for my entry point, and I'm not looking for profit at this point, I'm looking for entry. So I'm thinking that we're going to push down to 1042. It seems that way. And I have the indicator for the 200, the 50, and the 9 and 8 aligned in a way that is lower low. We have a lower low scenario. I wouldn't call a lower low scenario unless we don't have any light coming out of here. Now let me move into another chart and then move into a weekly. I think I need to go into a weekly. It's gonna make me save. No, we're good. Weekly, leave. Okay, so this is the weekly. All right, everything's lined up. Now we need this. Okay, now that I explained where we were short term, let me give you the weekly scenario, because this one's a little bit more important. This is what my other analysts are talking about, this scenario a little bit more than everything else, which is cool. And everybody's talking about this, or everybody that I know that I trust their opinion are talking about this. So we have, let me write this out. So they're talking about a squeeze, and they said the squeeze started here, and they say it's going from here. They're talking about this. This is their thing that they're talking about. They're talking about this specific location, and they're telling me that we're going to break out. That this is one of those patterns. See, let me see if I have it in here. So this is a bullish pennant. So let's talk about trade patterns. Trading patterns, candlestick. All right, so there's a fucking ton. God damn it. Look at all these patterns. Right? So these are patterns, and you're supposed to memorize them, apparently. But I'm showing you where they are at. If I don't have my thing on me, but I have my mouse pad has all these patterns on it. I never look down at them, but we are in a very specific one. Let me see if it could show it to you. It just doesn't even have it. But there's going to be a pattern. Let me see this one. I have this. This okay. Man, why can't they just show me a good one? This is hilarious. They're supposed to, okay, I'm just gonna look at images. Here's one. This is another. They sell it to you. They just don't want to give you the pat. Nobody needs this. Like that. Okay. Okay, so this is the scenario we're in. And it's going to be a when it breaks out, it's going to, okay, the way that they're describing it is that it gets less intense, and then this one shows the bottoms holding up. But that's not what we're seeing. We are seeing two triangles. So we have this triangle, or the bottom of the triangle pulling up this way, and we have the top of the triangle descending. So this is high, this is lower high, this is lower high, this is lower high. And this will be low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So what's happening is price is being pushed down and pushed. It's contracting from the bottom. So you're contracting from your lows are contracting. That's a higher low is a contracting low, and a lower high is a contracting high. So this is going to break out. The way that this pattern works, it's a breakout pattern. Let me see if I can bring up another one. Because we're on the weekly, but this pattern specifically, so this one would have been the one that they're showing. This would be another one of those patterns. So you have a pattern over here where that's going like that, and then you have another one would have been this pattern, right? And that would be, and the breakout was here. I go by wicks, but if you were to go by bodies, the bodies would be like right here, and it's not it's prettier if you see it from the bottom of. Yeah, this makes it look prettier, but this is another one of those where the highs are going down and then the lows are kind of like, this one's let me see, go from here. So that's the way this one would look. And then it broke out after that. Let me see if I can find some more of these patterns. But we are in one right now. This is textbook. Like, this is not as pretty. This one's way more defined than that one was. And the weekly. So now we're looking at like okay, this is another one of those patterns. So this one's a little weird because it's two of them. Okay, let me draw it out. So you have your low here, you have your lower lows here. Let me see if I could define it a little bit better right there. And then you got your highs here. This one's weird. Where's the breakout? So yeah, this would have been the breakout right here if you were drawing it. But that's not the one we're in. This one is not it's not repeating. This one's very, very defined. Insanely defined. And we are in it. So there's going to be a breakout. And the reason why I think the breakout is going to be strong. This one's going to feel like this one. So this was 880 Ethereum. And we went from 880 to 1950, yeah, 2000-ish, right? That has pushed us down again in this. Okay, with this chart, looking at the weekly, if we don't break this pattern south again, like if we don't break 1230 or 1130, then we have a really good chance to break out and have a solid 100% run. Like we're gonna push out like another 100% from here, which is, yeah, I could definitely see a 100% breakout from in here. And it's because the price is being constricted. So that's just one compass. So just taking this as one compass of seeing price constriction, it can also break south. Now that's completely cool. And if it breaks south, that's just another entry point. But it has the likelihood of it breaking south hard is just less likely. Now we go into percentages. Now, what's the likelihood we're going to have this scenario again? Because that's what would have to happen. We would have to be breaking into a very strong sell-off scenario from here. And it just doesn't seem... we're just not outside of this pattern. So this is a weekly pattern. Like this is a long... We're going back to June 2022. It feels weird even saying that. Like that's a long time ago. But it wasn't that long ago we were bottoming out in Ethereum. And, Gangsta All-Stars is still ramping up and putting out all its promo material. We're still giving out golden saucers here. Like, that's where we're at here. You know what I mean? That's how not long ago it was. But now it also feels like a decade ago. But, that scenario was at the heels of a rejection from the dead cat bounce. So that we had a continuation of a sell-off of a normal market cycle. It felt okay. I don't feel like we have that type of scenario on the weekly. Like, I don't feel like that's what's happening. I'm trying to see this. Oh. So I'm going to examine the weekly in a way that I haven't examined it. And in this scenario, if we're looking at the weekly, now I don't do this with the daily, I'm only doing this with the weekly, but if I'm looking at the weekly, right here, so this was the bottom, and I don't know where this 200 was. And the reason why, there's no data. Like, I needed more data, and there wasn't 200 weeks of data up until the point it started printing here. So I could definitely say in the bear market cycle last time, we were under the 200. Okay? Now, I haven't even mentioned this ever, but we were under the 200 before we broke out. And we were under the 200, the 50 was under the 200, and the 9MA was in line. It all lined up under the 200, and our 50 is not there yet. So this might be two scenarios, right? One, the bottom was already in when this scenario formed itself. I would almost assume, if I was going to, I don't want to draw this out. I'm going to draw this out, but it's not accurate. But if I drew it out and it would say that this is what the 200 was like, we crossed it over here. The 50 actually crossed in. That's not right. I'm taking it off because it's literally not right. Like, I do not know what it was supposed to look like. I just am looking at, I know it doesn't move that much, but it definitely was moving that, sorry. It was definitely moving that much earlier. Okay, wait. Got rid of that. All right, cool. So, but how do we get this formation? It's just staying underneath the 200. If we just stay underneath the 200, we just stay underneath the 50, the 50 is going to keep pulling in. It's going to keep pulling in. We were, even though we were having positive, this is 100% price action, the 50 was still pulling in. So this might not be something to be alarmed about, or like I'm not alarmed by it. It will be pulling down as long as we're underneath it. As long as the weekly is underneath the 50, the 50 is going to pull towards, the 50 is going to be pulled towards the price, just because it was such a violent move. And we're dealing with the weekly, so the weekly moves slow. It is lethargic. This is, you know, this might be, it might take us 2 or 3, 4 weeks to break out of this cycle. That's the type of time frame we're in. Let me go look at questions. When do we use that pattern? Let me think. What pattern are we talking about? You're talking about the 9MA pattern, or are we talking about the 59 and 200 pattern?
I think you answered it earlier.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
It's all good. So again, this is the weekly. This one is broad. Like I say, it could take us like 2 or 3 weeks to break out of this pattern, break out of this. But if we break out of it, I'm assuming we're breaking north. I'm assuming we're going to break north and we're going to head towards this 50 in the weekly version of this. Let me see if I can go back to the daily. Okay, now taking this back to the daily, we're going to be contending with this 200. I'm just going to keep looking at the weekly. Makes me feel the weekly really showed you the pattern we're in, like what the price is doing. And it's good to see that price, to see that wedge being made and knowing that you're inside of a wedge, because you trade that shit. You trade the wedge. You trade it. Like, this is when we go for profit. This is doesn't happen very often. So in the daily version of that same type of wedge, low, higher, low, low, we had this breakout. So we had the same wedge, and then we had this breakout that came with that wedge. So this is the scenario I feel like we're in. right now in the weekly. So this same looking like scenario, and it broke north. And because of where we're at in the grand scheme of the market, a lot of our potential to break south is gone, and a lot of our potential to break north is there. Like, we have a lot of, we're playing with bottoms. We're playing on the bottom. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to be able to make money from the bottom to the middle. Like, we're in bottom, middle, bottom this, bottom that. Let me look at everything. Like, now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to go look at everything in the market. So apparently this XDC thing, I'm going to ignore everything. ApeCoin. ApeCoin is positive today. It's in the top 26. The fact that ApeCoin's in the top 26 is insane. TON coin, again, I have never even heard of this stuff. Let me see how many days. So this one's less than 2 years, and this one's less than 30 days. So this one is an emerging. So, okay. Whenever I'm looking broad and I see things like 92, this one, Bigot token, BGB, I have no clue what this is, but in the last 7 days, it's starting to make noise. It got to the top 100. This one's interesting to me based off of just its immaturity. So what happened to these coins right here that are like establishing themselves is shit like this. In the last 30 days, it goes 38%. So this might be setting itself up for that. That's just for coins that are just young. What's Tron? Tron is in the last 30 days. Okay, wait. We're in 7 days. In the last 7 days, these two coins. Now, last 30 days. Okay, we see who's the biggest losers. That's another thing. Trust Wallet. Why is Trust Wallet a coin? I have no clue. Chain. XCN. Doing horrid. Philcoin. Just absolutely getting wrecked. If there's a coin that you like. Okay, so like Doge. Look at this. Doge, 22%. When I find coins that I like to trade, which I'm not trading a lot of other coins, but when I was like trading everything, I was looking at this chart in the last 7 days and was like, what the fuck just took a dump in 7 days? Because that's an entry point. Let me see in last 30 days. Chills. Chain. This chain is doing really bad. This is progressively getting worse. And it's new. So this one might be on like a complete downward trajectory, but if it reverses, it's like 62% for 90 days. That one's young, Argoland. Okay, so this one's a little bit more established. It's still doing really, really bad, but it's 94% from the all-time high. This is not a great coin. We're not going to call this the best coin on the planet Earth. I'm almost mad that I showed it to you. But I do look at these, and I'll keep looking at them, and if I'll see coins that I'm interested in, that because you're going to have to do research on all of these to have an opinion about where you want to put your money. And you could use this blockchaincenter.net. Let me put this out. I'll put that in chat. So this blockchaincenter.net, it gives you like a really good overview of what's doing good in 90 days. So what's doing good in 90 days? Trust Wallet. The same way it's doing shit in 7 days is 72% above where it was 90 days ago when it first got announced. And then Dogecoin is 23% in 90 days. So if you invested 90 days ago, you'd be up 23% in your Doge. And this also shows you what you would have been, your biggest losers would have been near protocol, 66% down. Chain, Solana, 60, I'm not even going to look at that chart. 10, 6, 3. Oh my God. 95 from all-time high. This is horrible. But those are really good shots in the dark. Okay, Safe Moon is a 100% confirmed rug. This one right here is a complete rug. The guy had a backdoor in SafeMoon. 100%. Like if you're in SafeMoon, you were rugged. They're gonna go down to 0. The guy has a backdoor where you can pull money out, and it's like ridiculous. I watched a video on this the other day. Internet Protocol. This one I love trading for like a gamble, but I always lose money on it. But if it does good, it's gonna do great. It hasn't been around for 2 years. It's been around for a year. It's 99% from its all-time high. Now, again, gamble. This is a gamble. I would not put more than $100 in it, or any of these ones that are at these. But these are the ones. These coins right here. We'll look at. This is the top, let's say 25 of the shittiest coins from their all-time highs. One of these are going to break back out, and they're going to do numbers. They all have all their economics is completely shrouded. Like you don't know which ones are going to do good, but there's going to be a breakout here, and I could not tell you which one it's going to be. I don't, Solana might never get its market cap back. This BitTorrent, this one's a great fucking coin, and it's doing shit. And I don't know if it's going to do better. So I love looking at the biggest losers because the biggest losers, the bloodier the coin, the more potential for profit. So this one will literally double your money if it went back up. It's never going to do it though. That one's shit. And now ones are over here. Now you can see the strength of temporary. Now, in the temporary strength, you're always going to get these young coins that don't have data. So you only got your 30, 90 year, 2 years. You don't have no data here. It's just not here for a year. Those ones you want to be scared of. These right here are drainers. They all have the potential to go to 0. Like the likelihood of these going to 0 are high as fuck because of the lack of days that they've been online. You want to go for things that are 2 years older. So Leo coin, which whatever the fuck this shit is, it doesn't matter. It's strong. It's sitting at 46% from all-time high, which means if you had all your money in this coin versus Ethereum, what's Ethereum at? Ethereum is 75% from its all-time high. And that coin was the one that we were talking about over here. Leo coin is at 46% from its all-time high. It did better. It outperformed Ethereum. BNB coin technically is doing great. From its market cap is number 3, and its percentage away from its all-time high. BNB coin is doing well. It's doing real good. Now we have another one, Rocket Pool. I have no clue what this is, but it's doing good. These are not bad. Now let's look at the top 100. You're going to see a similar amount from the all-time high: 75, 75, 67, 87. So this one right here, this 91, Cardano doing bad. Cardano's a good coin, but Cardano from its all-time high is very low. It's didn't perform well. So this might be good for profit. Even at this high market cap, even if it's sitting at 0.6, it's at 91. I'm not going to suggest that we go into any of these coins. Just looking at the market globally that was this exercise purely. It's not like if you were to go into coins that had potential for profit, you're looking for this number right here, and then you want to see in the 7 days it's doing good, and you want to see in the 30 days it's doing good, and you could see the reversal pattern. So like if I could just let me see if I make this bigger and then get rid of all these. Okay, now we're looking at it blind. We don't know what's what anymore, right? This coin right here is doing well, and it's reversing. And I know that because on the hour it's doing good, on the 1 day, the 7 day, and the 30 day. Yep. So this coin right here, if we were going to look at this blind, not know any numbers, this is 89% from its all-time high, and it's showing me that it's doing well. It's reversing, currently reversing. All the numbers are lining up. Bigger number away, and it's getting smaller, and it's getting positive, right? This is, so the best one would have been 30 days ago. So that we have this one. I'm gonna mark. Well, I'm gonna know what this one is. So do we have any other ones that are like that? Okay, this one doesn't have enough data. This one doesn't have enough data. Okay, so let's fucking reveal this shit. What's the name of this? Bitcoin SV. What a shit coin. But okay, shittiest coin ever. Oh, what the fuck? That's horrible. But okay, this coin is absolute shit. It's a fucking breakout from Bitcoin. Horrible. But its numbers are screaming reversal. So I don't know what this coin is. I do know that it's bullshit because it has Bitcoin SV connected to it. That's so stupid. I think Bitcoin SV means a bigger hash rate or something. Yeah, fuck that shit. But if I was able to be objective and not just go in blind and just look at the numbers of the top, this is number 33. Number 33 is showing me a very positive reversal pattern, and I know that based off the 1 day, 7 day, and 30 day. It's showing me that it has power. This is power. This is the same thing as this move, except it's 30 days out and it's been pushing up for the last. Let's look at that chart. Fucking shit. I'm gonna look at a absolute dog shit coin on here. Okay, what is it? Let me go back. Make sure I get the writing right. Don't pull the wrong one. Where are you? Right here. Bitcoin SV. Trading view. Yep. Now, I know that it was going to look like this based off of the blockchain chart. So this is what this right here is showing me, this pattern. It's probably heavily manipulated because that's fucking ridiculous. What is that? Tell me that's 100% in 1 day. 68% in 1 day? Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, this thing is going to cross the 200. It tested the 200 here. Apparently, freaking got highly manipulated to the 200. It's going to end up hitting the 200. It's crossed this 50. On paper, if I have no fundamentals, all my belief and all that, getting that out of here, this one has the potential to crack this 200, and it's going to continue on moving forward. It has this is a very positive chart, and going from where it's at right there, it's up 27% from its low, and it's just holding it. Boom. There's no. This is the type of movement you want to see in a bear market. What the hell? Damn, that looks great. So yeah, okay, cool. Let me go. Any more questions? I don't really know where I'm at. Downwards. Okay, cool. I think wait. We could do I'm wearing a shirt and a hat. Okay, cool. With that said, why is this light so heavy? It's messing me up. I'm way more. I'm less. There we go. See that? There we go. Topless reveal. Oh shit. I can't. I would do it. I'm not gonna do it. Look. Okay, that's the end of this session. That's the end of this session. We looked at Bitcoin B, whatever. We looked at the weekly. Let me bring that back up so you can see it again. We looked at the weekly, and we have this squeeze pattern that I believe we're in. The most important thing that I think that happened recently is that we are lined up in this pattern. I think that's what I really want to emphasize for today. And then my second emphasis is looking for another entry point. And I don't think we're there. These thick bars, I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to get all the sell-off done so that I can re-enter. And I'm looking for I need some really thick wicks at the bottom. So I want more of these for my next entry point. And I think I'm going to be going a little bit heavier handed on this next one because the one that I was in didn't hit the way I wanted it to. I didn't hit the 200. So I'm looking for a heavier entry point, like 10K. So I will be looking at another entry point coming in soon. And it looks like it's going to be in the next 7 days. Maybe 12 days. I wanted to give it some time so that it could actually, we could bottom out at 1042. Now, if we don't bottom out at 1042, I'm fine with that. I don't have a clear entry point. If I were to be coming in, this is a soft entry point. I feel 50-50 on it. Why I don't like it, why I'm not in love with it, is because it's not at a resistance support line. Like, it's not here. We're in the middle. This is our support and resistance zone is 1040 to 1245. Right now it's like more like 1080. If we're gonna sell off, I want to now come back to 1080. I want to come back down here. I don't want it. If we're rejecting, the price is rejecting from the 50 and we're going to go to a lower low, I want it to go lower. I don't feel like this action it's not done yet. When these bigger bars, like when we get big bars, like I'm looking for them to knock down. Like I'm looking for a clear indication that we're down. And I just don't see the wick potential here. I feel like we need to test this 10. I feel like now, after rejecting from the 50 MA, I feel like we have to now test 1042. And we have to test it well. If we don't test it, I'm not too happy about it, about an entry point. I'd be confident if we got anything around here, I could feel confident for another entry point. But I'm not going to go in the middle. If we're not even done engulfing, I wanted to engulf. This is like, we're not reversing here. Right now we're looking for an entry. So with that said, if there's any questions, I'll answer any questions. Or if there's not questions, then I will end the recording. So you guys can unmute and ask, or you could just text.
I have a quick question. Have you heard of Hedera or Illuvium?
Can you send me the tag? And I'll bring it up.
Let me find it, because I come across it on
I think Hedera is called H-bar.
H-bar?
Yeah, H-bar. I think Cyrus was talking about that before. I think we had a look at that before.
That's the same point which I asked last time, I think.
H-bar. Why am I in Forex?
Yeah. We were looking at
H-bar. Okay. Is this H-bar? This is not H-bar. What's it? H-bar crypto. What's the name of the Hedera? This one right here?
Yeah, Hedera, yeah.
Hedera, yeah. Hedera, H-bar.
Okay, H-bar. H-bar trading. Okay. I don't know what the market cap is this. Let me go see what this market cap is. H-bar. So its market cap is 1 trillion. I don't know if that's correct. H bar. Yeah, it's pointing. It's starting to align itself down. It rejected off the 50 in November. So this is when it rejected. It's not looking good. It's looking bad. Like the fact that it started selling off after it started selling off. So we had this sell off, and this was this kind of like push up. It screams like it's going to go low. We're low, and it's almost to the point. Okay, so if we were just going to use the RSI, so I'm looking at. So what I see. Okay, so there's two RSI bumps. You have an RSI right here, November 9th. And then you have another RSI at June 22, 13th of June. So on the 13th of June, right here, it had a 39% push. And then here, this looks like shit. A 20, I don't see the profit in it. 20%, 30% is not a lot of money. Like in this scenario, we're looking for like 100, and it lost 100. It's definitely lost a lot. Like from a entry point perspective, it dropped 83% in the last, I don't know, what is it, 265 days. And it dropped from its all-time high. This thing has a potential to go lower. It looks like it's going lower. It doesn't look good. That's bad. So that's H bar. Okay. Illuvium. It can be manipulated into doing better, but from the chart, it looks like lower low. ILV. Holy shit. Who's talking about this shit? Let me see. ILV. Okay. This one is... Okay, see these wicks? Okay, see how they have these crazy wicks here? That's manipulation. There's too many of these wicks showing up on charts that shouldn't. Okay, what alarms me is these wicks coming up here. These are all manipulation sell-offs. You would want to see these wicks also down here. Like they're only up. Like why does this one have a huge wick here and a huge wick here and a huge wick? Why are there no wicks bottom? Where's the sellers creating the wicks, right? So we have that. We had a RSI dip over here, and mind you, these dips are okay. 65%. That's good. That's a good trade right there. 65%. So when the RSI dipped down low over here, so this one's a fake one. You wouldn't have lost money. You could have definitely traded it back out. Okay. Shit, I don't know. It might have another manipulation phase. Where do they come from? I have to bring up volume. Where is the volume? There's some heavy manipulation going on here. Let me move. Wait, move to existing panel, new existing panel above. Okay. So we have a lot of the wick. Okay, we have another pressure here. Yeah, this one's weird. These don't make sense. Like these big volumes are supposed to like ramp up. Like, okay, let's look at ETH. So you see how the volumes they're relatively in place unless you, like we have these two big red ones, but those correlate with sell-offs, right? And then it's like, you know, this pattern of just a regular wave pattern. Nothing major. It's not like, it's not spiky. You're not getting these individual spikes. So that LV thing it's too spiky. Let me see. You just get these weird spikes out of nowhere. Move to existing panel above. Yeah, these spikes are scary. That's all manipulation. There's no reason why that should be there. It should be like here. And this should be lower. And that would be healthy. So this one, though it might be a great trade of making money, it's being manipulated. Like people are dumping tons in at one day. This is like tons of, that's not healthy. That's not like genuine interest. Like when we do NFTs, there's genuine interest in Ethereum getting brought in and pulled out. Like that's healthy. You know, you buy a Bored Ape, you buy it low, you sell it high, you pull out. You know, there's a lot of money's going in, and a lot of money's going out. This is just showing a ton of money coming in on one day. Patterns. Not very healthy. It's not really going with anything, but let me look at it. It looks like it's on a downward paddle. This is like a death spiral. So you have your touch the 50, you have your test your 50, you touch your 50. It's not holding up, and it hasn't been holding up. It hasn't had no positive movement. So Ethereum had 100% move up. So comparing them in the same, almost in the same amount of data time, Ethereum had 100% push here, and then it had another push here, and then another push here. So it has its pushes. You know, you have your accumulation, you had your sell-off, your accumulation, your sell-off, your accumulation, your sell-off, your accumulation. That's where we're at. It's a downward spiral, but it's not like we're not rejecting off the 50. The 9 is, you know, crossing the 50 in the bear market. That's healthy. This is healthy. You know, this is still showing. This is this has more market cap than that coin by a lot. This is number 2, and it's still able to cross the 50. The 50s are getting crossed. The 9's holding. There's price. This is a healthy coin, and then when you look at this one, it doesn't. It looks like it's just going to go to zero. It has going to zero potential. But not to say that you can't make money when it does do their bump. That's a 65% bump when it does its little wick. But I don't know. It looks really, really sus to me. But I'm not saying you can't make money. Like if you're gonna make money, you're gonna make money. But I'd rather you guys be in like larger cap coins that we make 40% over 90 days. I'm okay with that. Just to make sure that you guys never lose money. I don't want you to lose money potentially, ever. Like even in our trade right now, if we left our trade that we made here, I'm okay with that because we made it together, and you know you do know that the trade is still even. We didn't lose any money. If anything, I'm talking about a re-entry point at this point. How do we re-enter, or how do we put more money into a trade, knowing that we have potential of we have another potential of, yeah, like right now I'm more interested, just judging from what Ethereum is doing, I'm interested in another good sell-off like this, a really nice entry point, so we could ride that all the way back up. That's what I would be interested in. You know, finding an entry point that we could ride back up. And I just don't feel like we're there yet. I feel like we do need to break this. Man. Okay, we're going to spend 7 days and we're going to talk about it, but I am 51% bearish right now. We'll say that. My thumb is on the bear. My thumb. That's a great way to describe it. I do not know what the price is going to be, but my thumb is on the scale pushing down. I want a lower low so I can find another entry point. That's what I want. I'm not going to sell my position. I'm good on holding it right where it's at. That doesn't bother me. This scenario doesn't bother me. There wasn't enough profit in it for me, personally. Like, I'm not going to pull this out because there's not enough profit for me here. We all could have bought Trump NFTs. Okay, no, we're done. No. I already said it. I said Trump NFT. You guys have to get me off of it. We looked at two other ones going almost to zero. And yeah, we're good. I'm going to stop the stream. And I'm going